Hello, 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 and welcome, my Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for January 2020. We're looking at this full moon in Cancer for January to new moon in Aquarius. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and really enjoying this zodiacal series so far. We've had some very interesting reads so far for Aries and Taurus. You are next. A villain card showed up twice, once in each reading, so I'm intrigued. Very, very intrigued. Just so that you know, we are looking at the full moon in Cancer, which is January 10th. To the new moon in Aquarius, which is the 24th. So we're looking at exactly 14 days, at least mathematically, give or take a degree here. If you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm making my way to 1,000 subscribers so I can do super live chat, and then we'll take the next goalpost, whatever that is, as we go. But I have promised my subscribers that I will do a little ditty called Drunk Tarot once a month for the first couple of months, just to see how that goes as an incentive to like and subscribe. There is a video link below of me clarifying what Drunk Tarot is, so please do check that out. It is my favorite video from 2019. No shit, I really enjoyed making that video. I've watched it a few times, makes me chuckle. So what is a What Do I Need read? A What Do I Need read is about going to the divine, your higher power, through divination systems. All the decks that I read, by the way, are in the bottom of the description box. I really work on my description box whenever I start a new zodiacal series, so please do check them out. Every line is curated, right? We gotta use that word, curated, with pertinent information and stuff that I do and whatever, good info in there. It's going to the divine with some humility and saying, okay, what do I need? Right? If you're like trying to consciously evolve, right, and heal yourself, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to work, I'm breathing oxygen, I'm drinking water, what else do I need? Like, what do I need? What do I need to focus on, think about, let go of, embrace? So we're just applying that, because you could do that every day with an oracle card, right? You just say, dearest God, goddess, all that is, please show me what I need today. Pick a card or just go about your business and trust you'll be shown. This is doing it for half of a moon cycle, right? It's the waning cycle. From full to new moon, which means you're going to cross over those last 3 days before new moon, which is dark moon, the time of really dissolving, letting go, banishing kind of stuff, right? And that's why I think you'll like the decks that were chosen here by the divine. We're only pulling 6 cards, one from 6 different decks. You'll see how they all flow together, as they usually do in these readings. This is a general read. Please do check your other signs. If it does not fit, only take what resonates. If something triggers you, pay attention, right? You might want to click off, but just breathe. And that's always the last thing I want to say before I start these readings full on, is just remember to breathe. Brings you right into the present moment so that you can actually hear not just what is being said, but sense the energy going on in your body while you're hearing it. It slows me down a little bit because I can be so rapid fire when I read that it actually allows me to relax a little bit and let that prana, chi, guidance, grace, whatever you want, to flow through me so I can more easily translate that into words. It already translates clairvoyant empathically within me, so I see it and feel it. The skill is about then putting that in words in a way that someone can absorb. So if we're both breathing the same prana and chi, which if we're tuning to each other, I'm tuning to you with your focus, your intent, you tune to not me necessarily, but the energy coming through, you will get both the internal experience of the energy as well as the external watching me pull the cards. Cool, cool. So please take a nice deep breath. We're going to start with Caroline Mesa archetype card to determine what is the dominant soul power, the dominant archetype that you will be dealing with for this full moon in Cancer to new moon next in Aquarius. Cool, cool, and then we'll build off of it. Nice deep breath. Here we go. Oh, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card for this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign. What do they need to address? What is the soul power they need to look at within themselves for this full moon in Cancer to new moon next in Aquarius? Here we go. Who are we looking at? Ooh, the Thief. Now, don't be triggered. The light side of the Thief is as brilliant as the dark side of the Thief. Every archetype is neutral. The shadow and the light is the balance of it. Where are you? Now, truth be told, this might be a power that you are dealing with in your life, not necessarily in you. That is another way to look at archetypes. You might be coming in to contact with somebody either already in your life or someone you haven't met yet who is a thief of one kind or another. So as I read the definition of the light and the shadow and the light, the lead and the gold, which is written on the cards, these are thumbnail sketches. You can always go deeper into researching an archetype online. I highly recommend Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace, but even her website, mace.com, M-Y-S-S. Oh, look, I almost spelled it out in sign language. I was a Boy Scout. I don't know if you believe I was a Boy Scout. It's the truth. That's where I learned it. So let me read you this. The shadow attribute, which is the stuff, you don't want people to know. It's like the stuff you keep hidden, and thieves keep shit hidden. Stealing money, creative ideas, affection, we don't often think of that as being stolen, or other powers you think you lack. In other words, the person has to think they lack it, right? So to steal attention from somebody, to suck the energy out of the air, right? There's all sorts of theft in that way. But of course, looking at stealing money, objects, things of that nature, creative ideas, that we're used to. Okay, more the physical. To get that there are other forms of theft that we might not consider as theft, that we might be doing and not realizing it, or being stolen from us. The light attribute, I love this, sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Like, yeah, someone can piss in your Cheerios, but they can't ultimately steal your ability to be optimistic about life. That's up to you, right? No one can steal your sense of hope. Yes, you can feel like your hope has been crushed, but hope is a grace that you can invoke and pray for and give away and get more of it as a result. So whenever we have something stolen from us, regardless of if it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, you name it, there's this thing in the divine plan that says, okay, this was scripted, this is happening to help you somehow. What do you have that cannot be stolen from you? Turn to that. Find what is truly, truly yours. So a very powerful archetype, a member of the wild card family. There are 8 families of archetypes. The 9th one is the wild card, the one that the others do not fit into. This is one of them. So you can expect the unexpected. Obviously, the thief, no one expects to be stolen from, right? Unless it's a sting. Now, what we're going to do, they told me to take half of the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, the half that is called the Suit of Problems, what I affectionately call the Womp Womp deck. Womp Womp, little Debbie Downer. To kind of clarify a little bit, because it is waning moon, what is it that you need to wane? What is it that you need to release, to let go of, to whittle down bit by bit over the next 2 weeks once we hit full moon? Cool, cool. Take a nice deep breath. Oh. Please, the Ascended Masters, one card in clarity. For this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising Sign, what do they need to let go of? What do they need to address, to banish, to wane, to whittle away, to lessen for this full moon to new moon next period, January 2020, full moon in Cancer to new moon in Aquarius? Disillusionment. Disillusionment. Now, here's the thing. How do you wane disillusionment? Well, I have to say, given the choice between being illusioned or disillusioned, as much as being disillusioned sucks, I'd rather know the truth. That's just me. So, has somebody stolen something from you that has left you feeling disillusioned about them? Have you felt like there's something that you lack, are feeling disillusioned, and therefore are using illusion in order to steal? You gotta kind of look at that. You could see how that could play out in a lot of different ways. Definitely check your other signs, Geminis, because you are a dualistic sign like Taurus, like Libra, right? a dualistic thing going on there. So make sure you're getting the information. You are an air sign. You thrive on information. So get lots of information, because disillusionment is a preferred thing, really, rather than to be under an illusion, something that appears true, but that is not, right? No one can steal truth. Truth is truth. But someone can steal from you in a way that leaves you disillusioned, right? Like in terms of trust, right? Like you trusted them, they stole from you, now you're disillusioned perhaps for all humanity. It happens, right? Interesting, interesting, interesting. But what is it that can never be taken away from you? Let's ask the angels what's going on here. The Healing with the Angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue. Let's take a nice deep breath and tune in. Here we go. Oh, my angels, please, one card in clarity for this Gemini collective. Sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need for this full moon to new moon, next full moon in Cancer to new moon in Aquarius? Please, what does this Gemini collective need, considering they've got the Thief and disillusionment? Please, please. A card of clarity for this Gemini collective. What do they need for this full moon to new moon next? Abundance. Now, just because the Thief is involved here, keep an eye on your money. Like, I'm not really getting that you guys are going to be thieving so much as that you might be feeling like you're getting ripped off. Now, just because abundance we immediately associate with money and finances, thank you New Age movement of the 80s, 90s up to today, abundance is more than just money. You can have all the money that you want, but if you don't have an abundance of health, it's not great. You don't have an abundance of time, like either to enjoy your wealth or a limited lifespan. We all have a limited lifespan. Nobody fucking lives forever. That's Nosferatu, right? Unless you're an immortal being. I'm working on it. Not until the last jar of Rapid Wrinkle Repair has been sold from the last shelf, right? So to me, the abundance card means extra, right? It means that you have, and then you have a little bit extra or a lot of bit extra, right? So, but it's really kind of relative with that card of the Thief, of something that has been stolen. Now, what I'm getting here is maybe somebody tries to steal, again, like your optimism, right? Your positivity. Well, that ultimately can't be stolen from you. So keep an eye on what you already have in abundance, that which cannot be stolen, as indicated in the light attribute of that. Look, everybody gets stolen from. It's just part of the human experience, even if it's not literal, like money theft, bank theft, stealing an object. So, well, people can say, oh, you stole my heart. It's not the same thing, right? Stealing attention, stealing affection, stealing somebody from your life. There's all sorts of ways that can go down. And, of course, that would lead to disillusionment. That's what I'm kind of feeling, that this is not really the Geminis doing this. That it's maybe something that's happening to them and maybe can be avoided if you keep an eye out, right? Like the waning moon. Let's lessen the possibilities of that going on. Cool, cool. And in that would lessen your disillusionment, because you would kind of learn your own intuitive skills guiding you through this. You would actually gain something. And an abundance of it, one would hope. Let's ask the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the voices of the gods and the goddesses. Usually I use the Mythic Tarot to be the voice of the gods. They said, nope, just these 6. So the gods, as I started doing these readings on YouTube, scarcely over 6 months ago, I used this deck. It wasn't until later I brought in the Mythic Tarot, so the voice of the gods represented. Nice deep breath, please. Oh, there they are. Oh, my gods. Oh, how interesting. Hermes is the god that sits in the throne of Gemini, and he is the messenger god, also the god of liars, gamblers, and thieves. No shit. Oh, isn't that funny? I got attuned to the gods to know what I already know. Wow. Okay, my gods, my goddesses, Hermes in particular, if you are so inclined, please, one card in clarity for this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. What do they need for this full moon in Cancer to new moon in Aquarius, January 2020? Please, one card in clarity. This one. Appraisal, a card of assigning value, right? Something being appraised, like what is it worth? Now look, if you need to appraise, this might very well be about appraising a situation. How much is this worth? Is your energy being stolen? Look for psychic vampires. Psychic vampires, they happen. Martyrs, they happen. Constant complainers. Is somebody stealing your energy in a relationship? You have to really look back over your shoulder and say, is this worth it? Is any of this worth it? Are your ideas being stolen at work? I just feel like this thief archetype is in you in the sense of you getting what cannot be stolen from you, right? That this is a soul power being developed. So you're gonna have to go into appraisal too. Now, appraisal is different than analysis. Analysis is gathering information. That's like the detective going in and gathering the clues. Appraisal, in this deck, the Seven of Pentacles, we're used to seeing this, right? This image of somebody looking at something that has been grown, sort of like saying, do I want to plant this again? Was it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And remember, this is an earth sign, so an earth card, so it's not about the mind. It's about how is this worth it in the physical? How does this feel in my body? What is my soul telling me in my body in this experience that I need to appraise that so that I can kind of get how much more I want to deal with this, or if what was stolen was of value to me, one way or the other, immense value, none at all, somewhere in between. Is it all worth it? Interesting, the confluence of cards here. Then with that disillusionment, is it worth being disillusioned about all humanity, for example? So what we're going to do is we're going to ask the Whispers of Love Oracle, such a great deck, the Voices of the Higher Self, to give you a little insight about what you need here. And I love this deck. It's usually very, very helpful. So please breathe. Oh my God, that feels so good. Please, the higher selves of all involved, one card in clarity for this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign. What do they need for this full moon in Cancer to new moon in Aquarius, considering we've got the thief archetype, disillusionment, abundance, and appraisal? That's a lot. That's pretty heavy duty. It is waning moon. It makes sense. What say you, the higher selves of all involved, for this Gemini collective for this new moon to full moon next? Get to know each other. Learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. So this does feel like this is somebody in your life that's doing the thieving. Don't feel like you're going to get to know, well, I mean, unless you're truly a con man, Hermes, Gemini, a little bit of a correlative in my life. Gemini moons in particular, ooh, sneaky, sneaky, tricky. They could be of two minds and you'd never know it because often they don't know it. So getting to know each other, this might really be understanding it's like this person is stealing energy because they've been neglected. See what I'm saying? That you may very well be disillusioned by learning the truth of what their pain is in. Or, let me go back to this, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. That maybe you get to know them and you come face to face with their story, with their background, so that you don't have to be disillusioned about all humanity, but you can be disillusioned about them being a horrible person and instead seeing them as someone in pain. And sometimes getting to know each other doesn't mean a face-to-face. Sometimes it's just about, like being a little bit of a Nancy Drew, right? You know, like finding stuff out and going, well, then they can have that. I mean, it depends on what they steal. If it's something, physical, tangible. But if it's somebody who's always just trying to steal your energy or steal your attention or, steal your friends even, which really true friends can't be stolen, there's something to contemplate there. But then kind of taking down the illusion and saying, this person's in extreme psychological pain. They're in pain they don't even know about and don't know what to do about it. And can I tell you, that's all of us. Until we really get on some sort of healing path, we have no idea the pain that we are in until we actually look inside, right, and address. And that's why getting triggered, as much as people hate getting triggered and we're not supposed to trigger anybody, how else are we going to know what the pain is within ourselves, let alone with somebody else? So if this person gets triggered around you, pay attention. Because we have one more left. And I saved this one for last because it is the newest deck, the latest deck that I should say, that I've been working with, the Matcon Healing Mantra deck. It's so good. Been saying it every reading. They are my lightsabers in cardboard. I love them. They just cut through a lot of bullshit very quickly. The way these work, on one side of the card is the name of the mantra, which is good, so I can look it up in a little booklet, which I'm gonna. And the other side is the mantra itself. Mantras are to be repeated, not like affirmations. You're not trying to convince yourself. You're not trying to, take this truth and affirm it so that it becomes real for you. It's like adding code to a computer over and over and over again, like conditioning yourself with computer code, right? Verbal code. In this case, I'm so used to doing Sanskrit mantras. I know a bunch of them. Thank you, Oprah and Deepak. Oprah Chopra, as I've called them for decades. Or at least the past decade, as they've been doing those 21-day meditation challenges. Love those so much. So use this as a means of healing. Just repeat it as often as you can, silently or aloud, right? So nice deep breath. We're going to ask the Ascended Masters. We're double dipping with the Ascended Masters in this read, but that's the way they gave it to me. So here we go. Nice deep breath. Oh, my Ascended Masters. Matt and the Ascended Masters, please. One card in clarity. What is a healing mantra for this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign that they can use in even in before this full moon in Cancer to new moon in Aquarius? Please, what do they need? What do they need to look at? What do they need to repeat? What is the healing mantra, considering they've got the Thief, disillusionment, abundance, appraisal, and get to know each other? Obviously, some step towards intimacy. Or please, what is the healing mantra for this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this full moon to new moon next? Celebrating simplicity is the name of the mantra. Celebrating simplicity. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Oh, shit. So what gets stolen from you? Think of that. Put that in context here. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. So maybe somebody thinks they're stealing something, and maybe you think somebody's stealing something, but maybe something is being taken off your hands that needs to go. Disillusionment, right? You're like, oh, I thought that was happening to me, and it was driving me nuts. This is happening for me, and there's a lot that's going to take its place. That's going to fill that void in terms of wisdom, in terms of fulfillment. Very exciting thing. Celebrating simplicity. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage. Here we go. Celebrating simplicity. When there are fewer details to manage, you are able to receive more joy. The more commitments that pile up in your life, the less likely you are to find the time to take everything in. Once all moving parts have been arranged in a proper working balance, simplicity can be celebrated, and you glean the most benefit from your reality. In other words, less is more, but it leads to more fulfillment. It's sort of like, when you have like 10,000 different options of what to eat for dinner, right? It almost doesn't matter which one you choose. It's not going to be as satisfying as or fulfilling as if you only had 3, right? Because if you only have 3 options, it's like, ooh, which one do I really want? But when it's like everything on the menu, and look, I live on Long Island, the land of diners. My God, they used to be 24 hours, 7 days a week. It was the best thing ever. 5 a.m. rolling up into the Forum Diner at Bayshore, tripping my bag off with my friends. It was the 80s. Take it down a notch, right? I love that kind of variety in a diner, but it's so funny. I usually get like one of the same 5 things, no matter what diner I'm in, right? So that thing of celebrating simplicity, right? That perhaps it is through theft that you get, you know what? They might have stolen this, they might have stolen that, but I've got my health, right? That I'm going to use this as an opportunity to simplify my life and to celebrate the simplicity that's already here. That's a pretty hot read. So let's put it together. We've got the Thief archetype. Really, if it's coming to you, you have to look at, well, what is it that cannot be stolen from me? Which really does come back to this card of celebrating the simplicity. Sometimes things are just taken away from us. They just gave me this as a download. The universe might steals something from you, right? The cycles of renewal and erosion, waxing and waning. This is waning moon. Something's being taken away, right? Something is waning from your life. So that thing of really getting, it's like, okay, then Spirit took this away from me so that I can get more fulfillment from what I already have. Yes, it's a harsh lesson, but wouldn't that be a disillusioning thing? In other words, taking the illusion of playing victim, right? And being like, no, this happened for me, not to me. My God, that's whether somebody literally stole it away or the universe taking it away. But there's probably going to be a feeling that you've been stolen, that you've had something of value taken away. And with that card of abundance, it does sort of back that up, that there's a bit of extra going on here. Maybe there's some fat trimming necessary. But with that card of appraisal, Seven of Pentacles, that makes so much. You really have to appraise, was it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it, in other words, is what was stolen from me worth the pain and suffering? Or can I see this horrible thing, because theft is generally a horrible thing, as one of the best gifts I could have received from the universe up to this point? Another way of looking at it. And then really the wild card in here is get to know each other. I think if somebody actually did steal from you, like, get to know them. Like, and not that you know, if it's an obvious theft and there's cops and prison and, you know, court trials and all of that, go through a process of examination, go through a process of investigation, because there's going to be something there. Learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. And maybe this is a relationship that you're already in, and the person is stealing attention, the person is stealing affection, maybe the person's running around because they still not have given themselves the love that only that they can give them, so that maybe you can be a bit more compassionate, which I call one of the children of love, along with acceptance, along with kindness. Yeah, compassion, that they're doing the best that they can will make you more loving, and then that's something that can never be stolen from you. So there we go, my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising signs. May you be blessed with all that you need, coming and going this full moon to new moon next January 2020. And may whatever this situation is work out for the best and the blessed for you and all concerned. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, comment below. I keep forgetting to say that. You can always comment in my videos. I at least, you know, like and hit that little heart button unless someone asks a direct question, and then I will answer those questions as quickly as I can. Gemini is my communicators. So thank you so much for watching, my dears. Happy New Year, and good luck this full moon to new moon next. But for now, as ever, as I sign off, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.